Back again with another expired listing review. This gentleman, actually, we connected and he told me the story. At first, he was very frustrated, and I could understand that, but he told me the story that the agent that he was working with maybe was a little bit younger and a little bit more inexperienced. And for me, primarily in my real estate business, the only thing I do is list properties and market them as best as I can. So I reviewed the listing that he had that the home didn't get sold and shared with him some of the strategies that we use to actually generate more intrigue, more buyers, more offers, utilizing some fundamental marketing steps for listing homes that a lot of agents just frankly miss because no one teaches them this stuff. So if you're getting value from this, like the video. If you're checking it out, you see it, and if it's something that's helping you, if you are somebody who's considering listing your home, or maybe you're for sale by owner right now, or maybe you was on the market but didn't sell. And if you want to spend a few minutes reviewing your listing, I have a link down below and you can certainly book a time and we can chat more about it. So without further ado, check out my review of this Pensacola home. Hey, what is going on? My name is Derek, and I'm just going to go over really quickly some of the things that I think may have caused this property to not stand out and not get as much traffic as it potentially could be. Being in such a great location, I think it definitely should have gotten more traffic and potentially more offers coming in, or at least more showings based on what I'm seeing. But I'm going to break down the things that I think got missed so that you can understand pretty clearly what it is about the experience that people are having. And first, for me, the first thing is always the photos. Right. So this photo specifically looks like someone just took it, to be quite honest, with their cell, and it doesn't stand out. It doesn't stop the scroll. It doesn't create curiosity. There's nothing about it that really displays how the beauty of the home and what it could be for somebody. In fact, there's a car in the way. So you can't even see the front door. Straight on, having the palm tree right in the way again, is something that it's hard for people to visualize what this might look like if they go look at it online. Now, mind you, most people look at 2 or 3 of the pictures, but the very next picture is just the inside. So it goes straight from this picture to random bedroom with some beds, right? So that's a massive miss, not having more. And I'll show you what I mean, what the difference looks like. But the biggest thing here is, even on this listing, I believe this is the photos before your listing. Maybe this was the photos from your listing and it's not showing correctly on my MLS side. But these photos look definitely a lot better. There's a lot more cut down. You can see the front more here. So if this is yours, that's much better. However, this is the biggest miss that all these agents are making out here. These are the most 5 important images that you can have on your listing. And they're all the outside. They're all the same photo. And again, no discredit to any other agents, but these 5 photos should be the outside, an aerial, the inside, the kitchen, the master bedroom. It should show a taste of what they could get if they keep looking at the listing. So that was a big miss. Another thing that I saw was some of the copy. I don't think I have it pulled up here. So storybook charm meets modern comfort, endless possibilities. That doesn't really say anything, right? That's really vague, in fact. So I like to be very specific on the way that the copy portrays and tells a story. And there's only so many words you can put and what people read. And that first sentence should be like a YouTube video title. It should really hook people in and get people excited about the features, the positioning, where it's located, anything that really makes this stand out from the crowd. And I think that this vague sentence right here really causes people to misunderstand it. And oftentimes people won't read into more of what's being said. I can see that there's a lot of what we call M dashes, a significant amount. So all of that is using up precious space on this listing, the copy. So I think the copy is just as important as the photo. After doing copy for almost 8 years now, I realize how important it is. More importantly, not just to throw it up into ChatGPT, which is what this person did, and spin it up. Well, I think AI is important, and using ChatGPT and Perplexity and Claude are important parts of real estate now, just throwing the copy that ChatGPT threw in here and not making it human sounding, I think was a huge miss. So those are the real two things that I thought was important. The other thing is thinking about the property and thinking about the types of buyers that we want to go after. But before, I'll get into that in just a minute. But again, no matter who the buyer is, the way that it's marketed is really important. So you can see the difference. This is the way we run our listings. You can see how this feels so much different and causes curiosity and really hooks you in a lot more. We do AI image generated backgrounds to make like a skylight evening look. We do aerials, actual drone photos. This was an empty property of this listing. And we will oftentimes do virtually staged pieces, or sometimes do staging. If it's a multi-million-dollar property, we'll do that. But you can see here the feel of these first 5 images when done correctly. But we'll also use curiosity peaks like this. We'll do a visual. Sometimes this will be a main photo because I want it to stand out from the pack any way I can. And we utilize stuff like this. So I'll change the main photo images probably 4, 5, 6, 7, sometimes 10 times when I have a listing to get more activity on it. And you can see this stuff works and again, we're still using M dashes sometimes, but only when I want to stop, almost like a paragraph, because I can't have paragraph in copy. So I'm really highlighting the main things and not using the space for the copy, not misusing it. But more importantly, doing the things that cause people 1,300 views in 28 days. 116 people save this property. You think we're going to get this one sold? I think so, right? We're getting massive activity on it. And this is actually the same property. So we do that on all of them. You can see whether it's $1 million listing, a normal $300,000 listing, or even a $150,000 listing, we're going to do the things that doesn't matter what it is. So we run ads when we do open houses to these properties. And so you can see what that looks like. So again, we're doing everything we can, virtually staging them to make the people see what the possibility of it could look like. And then my thing that I wish more agents would do is we call this reverse prospecting. This is something that you can do. I guess it auto started in the back of the MLS that allows me, I'll just make it a little bit bigger, to go in to one of my listings. These are my actual listings and pull a report. And that report shows me all the agents that have buyers that have searches that match the criteria of my property. And that's what you're seeing me do here. This is pre-recorded, but I can go and I can see the phone number of that agent. I can call them. I can text them. I can send an email to them. But more importantly, I have all of these agents at my disposal and I can see that they have 1 buyer. That first person had 4 buyers. And I can connect and reach out and say, hey, Robert, I've got this great listing on Euclid Street, and it looks like you've got a couple buyers that might be interested. So those are the things, we call this reverse prospecting. I call it agent mining in here. But we go after active people that we know. We go after active people that we don't know. And those are really the ways we do it. Obviously, we have our clients. We've got about 5 with active buyer agreements right now. We've got 30 plus people with active searches on the MLS that are our buyers. And then our active new leads, again, we're marketing properties. So I get new leads in every day. So I do a networking brokerage group. Real has a great networking group that meets once and sometimes twice a month. That was the agent mining that you just saw, that reverse prospecting. Obviously, we're putting it on the MLS, but how we do it makes all the difference. Running Facebook leads, the passive people that we know. I've got a huge investor database. I love working with investors. I've got thousands of old leads that we push properties out to. We do a Pensacola deal of the week or listing of the week. And we have tons of website search leads on my website, which you can go check out, Gulfsideholdings.com, and see that. You can download my agent resume there. I'll put it in the email for this. And then we're going after passive people as well that we don't know in Facebook groups. Actually, that's a big one. There's a lot of people that are sitting on the sidelines and really just want to see how things work. We do blogs with some of our listings to get them out there, to push them out there to our email list. These are all landing pages to the actual listings that we do. And you can see here, this is me showing you ultimately the post that we put. That's annoying with that the side there, where they're actually going in and we're doing posts in groups and generating tons of interest and tons of people that are saying, hey, I want to see more about this property. I want to potentially see this property. 59 comments on one post in one group. So we run social media quite a bit different. I'm sorry, it cut off because I have this thing amassed, but you can see how we're doing things a bit different. So if this stuff is interesting you or you feel like I'm getting what maybe was missed, let's book another appointment. I'll dive in a little bit more. You can ask me questions, but I'll dive in a little bit more to our system, how we launch homes, how we prepare, how we drive demand, and how we really manipulate the market utilizing pricing. So if that is interesting to you, let's book an appointment and talk a little bit more, and look forward to connecting.